How's it going? What I want to do today is just take a look at 5 recent CD purchases I made, and I think they're all worth discussing in some small way. So here we go. So last week I went on a day trip to Niagara Falls with my son, and I actually haven't been to Niagara Falls in 15, 16 years, despite living not even 2 hours away, and my son never been there. So anyway, we spent the day there, had a good time, and on the way home we pulled over in Burlington at some UCD store I haven't been to in a long time. And I was happy to find a couple things. First thing was The Red Sea by ISIS. This was an early EP. It came out in 1999 on Second Nature Recordings. So ISIS are one of my all-time favorite bands, top 10 for sure. But for whatever reason, I never bought the early EPs. There's also Mosquito Control and Sawblade. I've just always been satisfied with the full-length albums. I do some ISIS odds and ends, but again, the full length is where the magic is. And I found this for a good price, and I was very happy to have it. It's the Red Sea EP, 3 songs, and then a 4-song demo from 1998 tagged on at the end. My favorite song here is definitely the title track, The Red Sea. It's the closest thing to the ISIS that lies ahead. So at the same store at the same time, I also bought another EP by ISIS. This is called Signal 05. It came out on Neurot in 2001. So this is somewhat of a companion piece to the debut full-length Celestial. You can tell by the album artwork here, and even the song titles, they pick up where Celestial left off and starts with tracks 12 through 16. So you got the first song, Signal 05, Final Transmission. It's basically an extended version of some of the interludes you hear on Celestial. The next song, Divine Mother, is probably my favorite song on here. It's kind of a glimpse into the future. It reminds me of Panopticon era ISIS, which was quite a ways in the future, but I could hear it starting here. Beneath Below, experimental track, but very good. Constructing Towers, another classic ISIS song. And it would close with Celestial, Signal Fills the Void. And that is a remix done by Justin Broderick, and it sounds exactly you would expect. It sounds like Celestial era ISIS with Yesu style sounds all throughout it. I definitely like this one better than the Red Sea. Again, this one had more of a hardcore feel. I hear some noise rock, Today's the Day, sludge. This was more getting into the atmosphere, escapist sound that they'd come to represent. Okay, this is the new album from Impetuous Ritual. What's this one called? I should have known I wouldn't be able to read this. Inquisitus Barbaric Synthesis. I think that's it. This came out just a couple weeks ago on Profound Lore. And I've talked about these guys before. I have 1 or 2 of their previous albums. And they share members with Portal. But Impetuous Ritual, in fact, precedes Portal. And the members, I would get them confused, but there's 3 bands kind of from that Portal family tree. You have Portal, which is just a very bizarre, very dissonant mixture of extreme metal. Very hard to pigeonhole in the black or death category, I think. There's a band called Grave Upheaval, which is more focused on death metal. And then Impetuous Ritual, which is the most black metal influenced band that the Portal guys are a part of. However, still overall, I think it's more death metal than anything. I find the sound on here is better than the old stuff, The old stuff, like, it was part of the charm, but it was just such a, I don't want to say bad sound because it's all done on purpose, but just a very distant, I hate to use the word, but cavernous sound, and hard to hear what's going on. And I found less of an issue with that on this one. But I don't have any real favorite tracks on here. It's just more of a vibe that I put on in the background. But I think it's a cool release and just one of those noisy, strange things that I find easy to listen to. Good background music. I know that sounds like an insult, but that's generally what I use it for. The brand new album by Immortal, War Against All. I waited a while to listen to this. I waited till I had my physical copy. Immortal are, like ISIS, one of my favorite bands. I don't know if I put them in one of my top 15, 20 bands necessarily, but I've been following them forever, own everything. They're just a go-to metal band. Now, this is the Demonaz version of Immortal, so no Abath, and not even Horg on this one. But I do think this is a step up from Northern Chaos Gods. I found that one, while a quality metal release, completely unmemorable. And there's definitely some memorable moments on here. And I don't really have an issue with Demonaz using the Immortal name. I mean, the songs are very similar. The image, the lyrics, all the same. Even the vocals are 95% accurate to Abath's. Maybe less croaky, but otherwise pretty much the exact same. And I hear a lot of parallels with Sons of Northern Darkness, but we'll get to that as we... Well, let's go through the songs one by one. It's only 8 songs here. So War Against All kind of reminds me of One by One, just the way Sons of Northern Darkness kicks in high gear. Thunders of Darkness, I view that as maybe a second-rate version of a song from that album. War God, very, very clear ties to the song Tyrants. Just a real, horns in the air, thousands of people at Wacken headbanging at once. One of those riffs. And as clearly as it's an attempt to recapture the magic of Tyrants, I think it does a good job. The riff's different enough. No, I really like it. I think that's a cool song. No Sun, I'm hearing a little bit of Immortal. Sorry. A little bit of Emperor, a little bit of Dissection. Kind of a unique song for them, I thought. Return to Cold. Kind of an ordinary track. Nordlander's a little bit of an oddball. Is that an instrumental? Forgive me, I don't recall. I think it might be, though. And it kind of has more of a melodic death metal sound. Has kind of a Gothenburg thing going on. Good song, but kind of stuck out on here. There's a song called Immortal. Unremarkable. And then it ends in strong form with Blashrick, My Throne, which has many comparisons with Viking Era Bathory, which is some of my favorite music ever recorded. So I want to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to drop it to a 3.5 out of 5. Half the album's really strong. Half the album is okay, but unexceptional. I'd still recommend it, though. I'm a big fan of Immortal, and I just got to be careful not to play this one too much. I think I'd probably get bored of it if I played this 20 times. Finally, we have Future Shadow, The Clandestine Gate by Bellwitch. So this is a double album. It's about 85 minutes, but one song, so one song split up into 2 halves. And not only that, but I feel like their next album is also going to be a double album with one song. So what are my thoughts on this? Mere Reaper, I was a big fan of, but I need to admit that it hasn't really stuck around in my regular rotation. I own everything by Bell Witch, seen them live I think 3 times, gonna see them again whenever that is, and I do enjoy this album. I do enjoy Mirror Reaper, but I just found this one had a little bit more variety, and it was a little bit of a step back in time to Four Phantoms, I thought. So you have a similar structure of Mirror Reaper with a more similar sound to Four Phantoms and the material before that. Love this album cover. You might notice I no longer have the Mirror Reaper banner behind me, just time to switch things up a bit, but I would definitely like to get a banner or a flag of this album artwork right here. Awesome. So this one, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I probably gave Mirror Reaper a higher rating upon release, but again, the main thing I like about this is I find it has a little bit more variety, and I look forward to hear what's on the next one. Shouldn't be too long from here. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching.